Yo guys, welcome back to another League Racing video on the channel. I'm sorry it's took so long. This race is about a month old, but we are finally here with PSGL round 1 and 2, Australia and Belgium. And I've never done a 2 race video before, but we're going to see how it is, because, you know, we've never had an incident happen in a race like this. But anyway, we're in a PC F6 this season. We're against some really quick guys like Raphael Kunch, Tom Wolfgram. They're both in FVR and VNT, which are very high rated teams in the scene. And yeah, if you enjoy this video, remember to like and subscribe. And we are getting on to our final run in qualifying. Our first run put us in P16, and there's only 18 drivers, so we are third from bottom, which isn't very good, and obviously we need to improve now. Else we're going to be probably last, because the 2 guys behind are definitely going to improve. And into turn 1 then, we need to nail this. We get it pretty well done. We cut it just about, we're very close to track limits and we are just about in the green. It's not as good as we would have wanted it to be. Up into turn 3 now, we turn a little bit early but we end up getting it right. Trying to keep the speed up here, trying not to lose traction. We get it done really nicely. We're nearly a 10th up now. Car on the right moving nicely out of the way. And into the fast right, left, right, which is a big choke point. And we get it right, but it wasn't very good. We are 4 tenths up, but that is just because our last lap was horrible through that section. So we are probably still missing about a 10th there. Hugo Fontbonne going 14.5 on pole. That is around 4 tenths quicker than my PB, and with the way this lap's going, we're probably not going to get it. But we did absolutely nail the chicane, nearly hitting a car on the right. Into this right here, a massive point to improve. We improve a lot. We are 6 tenths up now into a really big choke point again, keeping the speed up, and now into the final braking zone. We miss the apex a little bit. We lose a bit of time there. We've lost about a 1/10.5 there, but we keep the speed up, and we lose a little bit again on exit. We've really lost around 2 tenths in those final few corners, but we go 14th with a 15.1, and that is
lost
really
so much time in the last 2 corners.
Really disappointing, and it's just not great, you know. It's a real reality check, but I knew going into this tier that it would be really difficult. But yeah, you can see we're just at the bottom of the screen there, and if we didn't lose all that time, I think we could have got P10. The 14.9 was definitely on the cards with the way the final few corners went. But just making some final setup adjustments now, and we nearly actually forgot to change to the right tyre compound for this race, but we do. We're going to be starting on the mediums. P14, so many cars to get through. First race of the PSGL season, and it's lights out, and away we go. We get a decent start to the cars around us, about equal. We're going to try and pick a line here. We're going to try and stick to the outside. We're going to play it safely. A car moves across, trying to go around the outside. He leaves us the space. We're really trying to be wary of any incidents happening up ahead, and we make it through cleanly. We've got a run on the Mercedes on the inside. We're going to go for a send. It's 3 wide, but we decide to back out because it would not be smart to keep that 3 wide through there. We're going to try and hang it around the outside of the Mercedes. Up ahead, teammates going off. We get beached on the curb a bit. Up ahead, the car's off in the wall. We dodge him, and there's a car. We're going to go up the inside. There's a virtual safety car, and up ahead, a car spins, and we make contact under the VSC. And we pick up a 10-second time penalty, and that's just horrible. And this isn't going to a full safety car, it doesn't seem. So now we've just got a 10-second penalty, and there's absolutely nothing we could have done there. Zero thing we could have done, you know. Trying to get a good safety car restart. Our delta's so much higher. I think we were meant to be a few positions ahead. Up ahead, a few cars boxing, which is going to already break the DRS train from Adam Schumer to the car ahead. Yeah, he's already out a second. But this 10-second penalty is going to put us, obviously, 10 seconds behind once we make this pit stop, because we can't get it removed. It wasn't our fault the contact was made, and it's really unfortunate that the Mercedes was just sideways in front of us. I maybe could have dodged it, but I locked the rears a little bit, and I wasn't really expecting a guy to spin. And yeah, nothing happened. And you can see we're on lap 13 now. There is a car behind us, but they've already boxed. These are the leaders. We tried to stay out till lap 13. We've stayed out maybe 3 laps longer than we should have. But we stayed out because this 10-second penalty, we had to bank on a safety car. So we stayed out as long as we could, hoping for a safety car to save our race. But it just never came, so we lost a lot of time on undercuts. And Yeah, P15 now. There's 2 cars ahead of us, but we're around 20 seconds. You can see how far back we are from the rest of the pack where we should be. We should be around the top 10 if we didn't have that incident on lap 1, because, you know, we made a decent start. We overtook a few people. We should have really ducked under the 2 cars that made contact and spun, but, you know, we can't think like that. It's unfortunate, but that is where the race is going to end. We didn't make any moves on track. A few people ahead of us boxed, but you can see we're 4 seconds off the points, and yeah, it's just really not went our way. A top 10 was definitely on. We had a really good pace in the second stint, but unfortunately that's going to be P12, and that was the first race on the channel where something's happened and then that's just kind of been it for the rest of the race. There wasn't anything to save it like a safety car like there maybe has been in other races, but unfortunately we've started the season with a P12, no points, which is really sad, because I did want to at least try and get a streak of P10 upwards. I wanted points in this league. I wanted to keep some consistency, but, you know, it gives me more drive for this race. And we've practiced a lot for Spa, because it's a track I'm not the best at, and I definitely wasn't before I did some practice. But the practice I've done has definitely helped, because I'm feeling really confident going into this race. It's one of my best tracks now. And we are P12, our banker lap wasn't great, but we're going to need to try and nail turn 1, which we kind of do. We don't do it amazingly, but we do manage to go up on our time, which is huge for the long run up Eau Rouge and along the back straight. This is a really crucial, like, you know, you gotta keep momentum up the hill, which we don't actually do. We lose about 10 milliseconds. We actually go under the time. But into this sector now, trying to get it done really well. We do actually carry some nice speed. Make a bit of a mistake on the left-hander, but we do carry it nicely through. Crucial braking zone here, trying to flick it in. We carry the speed, and we're going to need a really good exit. And if we can nail this next corner, we're on for a really good lap. We don't hit the apex exactly, and unfortunately we actually lose all that time again. And trying to keep it through this flat left now, we managed to hold it. But again, we just lose some time. Apparently our banker lap was pretty good, because I actually don't remember what was really happening in this race because it was so long ago. But, you know, trying to carry some nice speed through here, we're just not exactly nailing it. We're about up on time, but we should be around 2/10 up. We get a nice little flick through, and we carry a lot of momentum up towards the bus stop chicane. Crucial for the lap. This is going to make or break. We're P14 now, so we really have to get this nailed. Braking at the 100, flicking it in. We get it done quite nicely. We end up chucking it over the curb on the inside, and we're about 1/10.5 up. We lose a bit of time on exit, but that's going to put us P11, and that's a 40.7, which is maybe 1/10 off my PB.
But
I'm
I'm
very
actually
happy
really
with that
happy
lap.
with. Not really, but
Like on time, that is a really good lap, but we
8.
definitely could have got a top 8 with that. We just lost so much time at random silly points, and it just doesn't really make much sense to me. But P11, again, qualifying outside the top 10. This time, I think we actually, did we start P11 last? No, we started P14 last time. But starting a bit higher up, closer to the points, there's a lot to play for in the race here. We are a lot more competitive on this track than we were in Australia, making some final setup changes once again. And we are going to be getting into this race. And yeah, we need a really good start here, and we're going to hope we can. 5 red lights for the second time this video, and it's lights out, and away we go. There is a disconnected car up ahead, and we get a really solid start to the cars around us. We're going to stick to the outside, avoid all the cars on the inside. A gap opens up. Going to go around the outside of about 6 cars here. We get on the exit, there's a crash up ahead, and we dodge 2 cars, and we're P5 out of turn 1 from
oh my
P11.
god, that's the best start of my life.
And that is an incredible
oh my god.
start. But up ahead,
And he's off. No
up
way.
ahead, the car goes
They're
off.
not restarting, surely.
And the guys up ahead,
Yeah, there's
Nico
no
Rassenberg,
way.
is taking out all the drivers. And we're going to stay out. We're going to try and just avoid everything. And we see them crashing. But, and we're into P1, right? But we're checking the Discord now, and the tier coordinator has not called a restart. They just crashed out on their own. So you can see we stayed out till the start of lap 1. 5 other people did as well. And we ended up waiting, and we're gonna leave in a second. We are gonna leave to restart, but at this point, the guy still hasn't called an official restart. I think it's actually around now. I look at my phone and I see that he has called a restart, but we could have actually stayed in this lobby because we ended up getting someone higher up in the, like someone higher up, he's like an advisor for this or whatever. We actually got him in, and he was asking if people were still in the lobby. And I think if we managed to stay in the lobby, we would have, you know, kept going with the 5 people and we would have got a free win. But unfortunately, we left a bit early. And you can see now, the next restarted session, it's full wet. So we have the best start of our life from P11 to P5. Some people just decide to take each other out on their own, and we are now in race, in a rain, where we've not practiced at all. And we don't get as good of a start last time. We can't go to the outside as there is a car there. So we're unfortunately going to have to go on the inside. We maybe could have went to the outside, but we're getting boxed in now. And we just can't move anywhere. And then by the time we get our foot down and accelerate, we're P17. And that just... that's a kick in the teeth. Because we had P11 to P5 in the last round. Or in the last race, the real race. But now we're P17, and we're getting overtaken here by our teammate in P18. And there's just nothing we could have done there. We were just pinched in the middle. Couldn't do anything there, and now what was looking like an incredible start is going horribly. We lock the race massively. We just do not know what we're doing in the race here, and we get overtaken, and we are now last on track. And I am inside. Inside, I'm absolutely like seething right now. I am so annoyed that the restart was called, because the tier coordinator should have had some backbone. Should have said, no, you know, you guys just killed me for no reason. You guys just killed each other. It wasn't worth it. You know, I didn't tell you to do that. But then again, we should have also just stayed in the lobby, and we would have had a 5-driver finish, and we probably would have won. So hindsight's a great thing. We're going for a move now on the Ferrari, who's on the wet tyres, which are probably a little bit better right now. But in a few laps, it's going to dry up a little bit. And we nearly go off the track. We go on the gravel a little bit, but you can just see we have no idea what we're doing. We have no idea how to drive in the wet. We have no idea where the braking points are.
Okay, not a great start,
and this is looking just, it's looking like another version of last race in Australia. It's just looking like it's going to be another long, drawn out race that really isn't going to get anywhere. Because we are legitimately P18 out of 18, which is... I can't describe how sad I am that this is where we are, especially after the start and the restart. But we're going to have to try and move on from that, because that doesn't matter anymore. It's just really annoying. But up ahead, backing the cars up, everyone's like struggling in the train. People just trying to figure out where the limit is. We're trying to do it as well, but we're just trying to sit behind and just relax. Not P4, lap 4 now, still P18. But there is an incident up ahead, as there's a McLaren off the track. We're going to try and dodge him. We do manage to do that. And that's Casper off the track. And he's picked up some damage there. He's lost it on his own, and his race is going to be over. He's going to retire in the pits next time it comes round. And right now you can just kind of see up ahead Ferrari making a move on Gabriele Stella. And yeah, we're not really staying with the train. Like you can see in the minimap, if you look in the bottom left, there's a massive break from the Alpine to the Aston Martin. And there's another little gap between the Mercedes and the Ferrari, and they're now going side by side up ahead. So we're going to have a much better run. We're going to try and go around the outside here. Going to brake very early and let them do whatever this is, because we are not trying to get involved in this. And the Ferrari's just kind of not moving, and he decides to pit, and he's lost us a lot of time there, and I'm not sure if you're allowed to do that. I actually forgot that happened, so I forgot to report that on the day. But right now you can see behind us Nico Rassenberg's shown up, and people are actually starting to box now. And I saw on the weather before this race, or you know, in the menu before the race, that there is a block of weather that is dry at the end of the race. So we're going to try and keep these tyres until the very end of this race and hope it dries up enough to where we can box onto the mediums and pull off a blinder strategy. And right now we're getting a little bit of a run, but we actually lose that up at Rouge. But we've got so much battery, so we are going to end up getting another run on our teammate up ahead. And we're just going to move to the inside. We're going to get past them. We don't communicate and work together or anything, so he's just made that move easy for me. And we don't race each other any differently because we're teammates. But, you know, we get the move done pretty easily. I don't think he was exactly letting me through it as a teammate would. But we can still see we're struggling. Like, at this point, our tyres are pretty gone. And there is a dry line starting to form. And Rassenberg behind us in the Sauber on his fresh inters. He boxed from the top 4, I believe. But he's caught around a second in the last sector alone. And it's basically entirely a straight. So through these next few corners, he's going to gain a lot of time on us. And we're just going to have to try and defend it. And behind us, Riley gets a 3 seconds. But you can see we have a lot of pace when we're in clean air because we've dropped Riley out of a second instantly. And I know DRS isn't a thing because it's raining. But it's just a show of where our pace is right now. And up ahead, Gabriele Stella is off the track. And we need to try and get past him. And he does just kind of let us go because he does have pretty severe wing damage. So he's definitely going to have to box again. But, you know, we've got some decent pace and we're staying out. Lap 14 now. Nothing's happened. And Rassenberg behind us on the fresh inters. He's not actually caught us. He is 3.9 seconds to where the last time we spoke about him he was 2.6. And you can see in the top left, Kane Barnett's put on the medium tyres. And we're going to stay out, obviously. And we're going to come out behind Michael Heidrich. And he was in the top 3, I think, before this. I think he was in the top 3. Top 4, definitely. But now we've come out right behind him, and obviously he's made a pit stop, so he's going to have better tyres than us. But our strategy, this puts us in a good place, because if it does dry up, we're going to be in a solid spot, and we're going to try and go for an overtake here. And because this is, in my eyes, 4th position, and we're going to go around the outside, but he does brake a little bit late. He kind of forces us off a bit, just drifts wide a little bit, and he does end up keeping the position. But Kane Barnett on the mediums, he is on the complete wrong tyre. And he's messed up himself. He ended up saying that he just completely messed up what he was doing. He didn't want to put on the mediums, but he just misclicked and didn't move it to the inters, which is unfortunate for him. But we have a little bit of a moment as Jalquin Wigley is behind us, and he's just going to make the move from that. He is also on fresh tyres. And Nico Rassenberg is now 1.7 seconds behind us. And we're going to speed it up a little bit, because this is where I decide to box, because our tyres, we're not making it. And it wasn't going to make it till the rain if it was going to come, but I also kept checking the weather, and it wasn't actually going to rain. So there was really no point in us staying out any longer, because we just risk a puncture, and there's really no benefit because we will just stay on these tyres to the end of the race now. And that's unfortunate, because a lot of people that undercut us, they're obviously, the undercut is a lot better. We don't have the pace to perform an undercut. And I'm not actually sure what I'm circling there, I'll be honest. I edited this video about 3 weeks ago. So I've got no idea what I'm circling. I think that's maybe who we were up against when they boxed. I don't know, just showing the undercut. Couldn't tell you. But either way, we're going to go for a move now on the Alpine, who is on older tyres. I'm not sure how old, but up ahead, there's a puncture for Miguel. And we're going to go around the outside. We keep it in track limits. And we're carrying that move to the outside. We're going to stay on the inside. And we're going to hope he outbrakes himself. He does. And then we're going to leave him the space on the inside as well. And we get the move done. Up into P11 now. Yeah, I'd bought my 10 seconds to the cars ahead. That's what I'm doing. I'm showing the 10 seconds of the car ahead, but you can now see we're on the last lap because we're not going to gain that time back. But we're having to lift and coast a lot now because we've actually underfueled, because I thought the rain would mean that we save fuel, but we actually don't on this game, and I now know that now. But this race was kind of the way I found out. And up ahead, we're gaining a lot on Rassenberg, even though we're lifting a lot to try and make it to the end. But he is on around 90% tyres, so he is struggling a lot. He's really trying to keep it to the end. Up ahead, Jamil Baselli goes off. We gain a free position, and now suddenly we're in P10. And we're looking like we're on for some points, because if we can get Rassenberg, which is looking likely because of how much we're gaining on him, then we'll get P9, and that will definitely take that after how this race has went. As Tom Wolfgram crosses the line and wins the race. He was just so fast. He is a really quick driver. We'll be struggling to beat him throughout the season. Up ahead now, we're gaining on Rassenberg, and you can see he's actually blown a tyre, and we see him, he goes so slow, we get a bit of damage, and we're up into P9 now. There's only one corner to go, but you can hear the engine bottoming out. We're losing time now, 3 seconds to Kane Barnett behind. We're breaking into the final corner. And we just completely spin, and I'm not sure why I spun, but we just can't accelerate because we have no fuel left, and now he's just going to go by and take a P9 from us. It's tragic.
There's no way I lost P9.
And I'm not sure how exactly I locked up at the end there. But anyway, we lost P9 in the end, which is really unfortunate because we definitely had that if we didn't lock up. We would have been able to carry more speed, and we would have just held it just about to the line. But anyway, these are the results. P10, 1 point, first points of the season. I guess I'll take it. But, you know, after the restart and the first race, it could have been so much more. Legitimately up into P5. And, yeah, it's just really unfortunate. We're P14 in the standings. Obviously only got 1 point. We've got the lowest points of all the point scorers. And, yeah, we've just got to improve on that. There's been potential in these races for, like, maybe a top 7, top 6 even. But we just haven't been able to get it yet due to bad luck, bad weather, whatever it was. We're not going to dwell on it. And we're just going to try and move on. So if you did enjoy this video, then please like and subscribe. I'm sorry it took so long. WR will be soon. We will start uploading all the videos from the last month that I've missed. But anyway, if you did enjoy that video, remember to like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one. Peace.